Hello. Hello, world. It is I. He is I is him, not so slim with the tilted brim. What's my name? Ryan. But it's Crownson's Corner, if you know me from that. But this is the Healing Chefs podcast. And just like I did before, Healing Chefs, chef is just a leader. I'm a cook, but when I'm in charge, I'm the chef. Chef is just a term given to a leader. A chef is a chief leader, whatever, like that. So whoever I have on here, I believe, is a chef in their own like life or in their area. So
I like that.
Yeah. So how you doing, chef? So today's chef is Chelsea Mulligan, aka the Dispensary Whisperer. A lot of you know her. If you don't, you will. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So dope. It's crazy, crazy life that we live. But we'll get into all that. So first segment is cannabis journey, and we'll go ahead and play that real quick. All right. So cannabis journey is all about like how you found cannabis. And real quick, it's bright in here. That's why I have the sunglasses on. It's really messing with my eyes. So before everyone starts judging me. But yeah, so cannabis journey is all about like how you found cannabis and then like where you're at with it now. So
Okay. My journey to cannabis has been a long one. I was a gymnast for 16 years in my early childhood and teenage years. And in my junior year, I came off of a front on vault and basically landed and my knees hyperextended backwards and my back crunched, and I ended up with herniated discs, 4 of them, all up and down my spine. One of them, L5S1, sat on my spinal cord and my nerve endings. So
wow.
They made me do a bunch of stuff before they would operate, right? Because I was 18, and acupuncture, physical therapy, all the things. And then they also had me dosed with 4 different kinds of pills. So one to sleep, one to take away pain, one to deal with nerve pain. Oxycontin was one of them, not oxycodone, Oxycontin as a 17-year-old. Amitriptyline for nerve or like muscle relaxers, and then trazodone to sleep. And so I spent most of my time as a zombie. And
yeah, for sure you did.
I went to my doctor basically before I ever had surgery, and I'm like, I don't like being a zombie. This isn't fun. Like, I just sit next to my friends and I'm like, I don't interact in class. Like, this isn't a quality of life. And
right.
I lived in Seattle at the time, and she basically was like, look, I know you just broke up with your boyfriend about 2 months ago for smoking weed and that you're very against it. Because I was taught my entire life it was wrong, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't okay. It was a gateway drug, that you couldn't be successful if you were a stoner.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, and here I am. And
sorry.
She taught me about microdosing in 2002 and taught me that if I rolled a blunt, I couldn't roll a joint paper. So like I taught myself how to roll blunts, and I would roll one before school every morning, and I would hit it in between every 2 classes. And I wouldn't do it to get high. I would do it to the point where my pain leveled off and I was at least able to function. Okay. So that was my entire journey to the beginning of cannabis, right? Okay. Learning how to not use pharmaceuticals. And in my 16 years of gymnastics, it was you double or triple the dose of ibuprofen and you get the fuck back up on the beam.
Yeah.
And so unlearning that through my late teens and early 20s was a really interesting avenue, actually.
Yeah. It's rough when those like things that you're like given like you had gymnastics and me being in the military and stuff, like there's certain times and places where like if you go to get help or something, or like you're feeling hurt or something, you get made fun of, or you don't get as much, you don't get the next opportunity. So yeah, I understand that. Take the ibuprofen, go on.
Exactly.
But you keep taking.
They're like, you're young, you look fine, you'll be fine.
Pills are fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've learned that is not the case.
Yeah. So from there, did you keep just like smoking flower and like trying to like, I guess you're trying to like microdose, in a way to your pain away? did you end up turning to like edibles at all,
So
or
back then, I mean, it was 2002, 2003.
okay,
Edibles weren't really a thing. I mean,
okay,
people did make edibles, but they just put the flour right into the brownie mix.
yeah. Shout out to you people because it is, and to you guys, but a little bit of that too, because like some of the sandiest, nastiest tasting stuff. And I don't know if you remember anybody ever saying this, is like someone who would save their seeds or stems because they have THC in
Yep.
them. Like, stop.
No, it's not a thing. Please don't do that.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. But yeah.
So and then in my early 20s, I worked in the gym industry, right? So, like, working through that back pain, I utilized cannabis after back surgery.
Mhm.
I did not use most of my pain pills. Same with actually my major surgery in 2013. I did not use any of my pain pills afterwards. And that's kind of when extracts had started to hit this market for the first time
Okay.
ever.
Yeah.
So I utilized that to be able to medicate after surgery. But to go backwards, so during my fitness time in the fitness industry,
Yeah.
trying to get my body back strong, that was painful, utilizing cannabis for that. Um, and then when I made the exit out of the fitness world, I literally found an online listing for a cannabis management position. And it was like, either this is going to be fucking awesome
Yeah.
or this is going to be super shady and it's going to be a bad idea. And it ended up being fucking awesome.
I mean, both sound awesome.
There's just a time and the place for both.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm intrigued with both, but and where was that at?
I moved to Arizona in 2008. So I started in my cannabis journey, my legal cannabis journey in Arizona.
Yeah, I meant like, do you remember the place?
Oh, I started at Bloom. It is now,
Okay.
I believe, a Curaleaf right next to the Arizona
Yeah,
SkyTrain.
I remember Bloom.
Yep. So I opened their first 2 dispensaries and then went on to open their other next 2 and then went out on my own.
Nice. And where are you at with cannabis now?
So my cannabis is kind of my cannabis journey as a professional has definitely changed over the years.
Yeah.
Started out as a manager at Bloom Phoenix, went on to manage their other locations, and I realized as we started to take over other dispensaries that they didn't have standard operating procedures. They didn't have a way to train their staff. They didn't
Mm,
have a way to keep their staff.
yeah.
And so after doing that 2 or 3 times for Bloom, I was like, why don't I just go out and do this for the other 143 licenses that exist in this state? So I went out on my own in July.
Dispensary whisperer, everybody.
So I went out on my own in July of 2015.
Yeah.
During that time, I couldn't find as many cannabis jobs. So I ran food truck events and did the fire marshal and setting up of it and managing the team that cleaned up afterwards 3 days a week. And then worked on cannabis stuff for the other 3 or 4 days a week until
Nice.
I had enough clients to be full-time cannabis consulting.
Awesome. So basically, you were setting up your SOPs already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that because, and it's a kind of a sad thing in the industry is a lot of people like yourself have gone into places and set up SOPs, and then you get pushed out or let go or something like that, and they keep your SOPs and don't pay you for any of that.
Or as a consultant, they pay me, but don't necessarily continue using them once I've moved on. And then they wonder why the staff changes or doesn't want to stay or,
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you guys know, but I'm going to tell you, Chelsea's like the one person that gave me my first shot into the cannabis industry. It was at a
Oasis.
Yeah, but no, I met you when I interviewed at that was like Women Grow.
Yeah. It was like the speed interviewing or whatever.
I was speed interviewing, dating, whatever that was. That was crazy. It was fun, but you just brought a stack of resumes, and I don't even know why I even brought a resume because I'm like I have nothing to like tell you that I know weed. But I went and sat with some people, and I even had some people tell me that I want you as a manager and all sorts of other stuff. And I never got any calls, but Chelsea's the one who gave me the shot, and that was at Oasis. So we're going to go ahead and shout out to Chelsea. Number one, shout out to Oasis. Things didn't work out there, but
You found a good home elsewhere, which
y-
was part of your journey.
yeah. And if you don't know, I've been almost everywhere in the industry as a bud tender. You name it, I probably worked there.
I'll never forget walking into True Bliss and having you be my bud tender. And I remember seeing you and being like, oh my God, hi.
Yeah.
And it was like the one by my house. So I was like, I actually very much enjoy being able to see employees that I've started out with and then see them in other places randomly and unexpectedly.
Oh, well, I have to be one of the kings of that because they were like, people would come in and be like, "You're here now? I weren't you just?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, I just made my way around because one of the biggest things though that happened in the industry was like the tipping situation and stuff like that. I used to make a lot of money, like a lot of money, being a bud tender, and it was good because I got paid for my knowledge, and I was very, very, key on like trying to help people out and get them the right products and stuff like that, so I would get paid. But then it went to like a sharing thing. But um, one story though that I do remember very much with you is Grow Sciences. Do you remember this? So um, back in the day, before Grow Sciences even started selling anywhere, they brought flour to us at Oasis. Chelsea gave me some of the flour. You had some of the flour. I believe it was their wedding cake. To go home and like you're like, should we buy this? And I went home and smoked it. Like the weed, like I had set it down kind of like this. It was in a like a square, almost clear container like this. And I had smoked some in the night. But then I went to sleep and I got back up in the morning. It was good, but then I got up and when I lifted this up, all the weed stuck to the side. Okay, I left it in like a little bit of a garage. My bad, but it was all stuck to the side, and I hadn't seen any weed in Arizona like that, and I'd always been looking for that weed, and I ran back to you. I'm like, all right, message you. I'm sure. I was like, if we don't buy this, I don't know what the fuck we're doing because this is the best. This is what I've been looking for. And I think Oasis was definitely part of putting on Grow Sciences, and Chelsea was a big part of that. You're welcome.
I do remember that though,
So
because it
Matt and
even
all them
now,
came.
it's still hard to find something where the terpene profile is isolated and separated from the other strains on the shelves. Can you still roll the blunt after you break it up? Because if you can without washing your hands and not ripping the paper, then
Mm,
let's find some stickier weed.
yeah,
Not to say
for
it's
sure.
bad, but I prefer my weed really sticky. So
It should
I do
almost roll
remember that.
itself. You know what I mean? I feel like it should
I've
stick.
never thought of it like that.
It should stick to itself. It should like when you go like this, it almost should be rolled.
Yep.
Like that's how I want it. But yeah, that and shout out to Smirkaboro. He's got legends going right now. I sold him his first eighth of Grow Sciences at Oasis to him because he couldn't get it anywhere else. But I'm not an idiot. We're not going to go into that. But but yeah. So with cannabis, your cannabis use now, um, how do you
How to medicate?
yeah, yeah.
Honestly, I utilize a lot of different methods, but I'm an old school girl. I like flour.
Yeah.
I love when I'm home, I love bongs. Give me water or give me death.
Hmm.
I cannot roll a joint to save my life. A blunt, I can roll with a perfect gig line, smokes good, tastes good.
Nice.
Joints will go through the whole pack of papers. You're not going to get shit. Um, I do educate or medicate with edibles occasionally,
Yeah.
especially if I am in a lot of pain. I have endometriosis as well as adenomyosis. So,
I don't what?
ad-
I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV.
I'll give a very short overview. Basically, endometriosis means that the lining inside of a woman's uterus grows outside of our uterus and attaches to all of our different organs,
Jesus.
fallopian tubes, whatever. And it swells on its own, bleeds on its own, all of that, right? So
Yeah.
it amplifies and can have attacks outside of a woman's cycle. Adenomyosis, that same thing happens, except it's inside of the uterus where the tissue comes out and then it reattaches on the inside and kind of becomes like scar tissue. My
Damn, Smokey, you're
my
dealing with a
cycle is
lot.
really hard. I spend the first 12 hours, vomiting out of it, not able to function. Um, I've left my car in numerous places in this city when my husband has had to come pick me up, puking on the side of the road, or on the Senate bathroom floor one time. That was great. Uh,
Hmm.
but so I do struggle with those. So when I am having a massive attack or something like that, when it's outside of my cycle, I will utilize edibles and flour. Flour for
Okay,
the immediate, edibles for long term, and then
that makes
continue to
sense.
help it along. Often I use edibles to sleep. I have a really hard time shutting my brain off. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a mom. And I like to know about current events and talk about shit that makes your brain work.
Well, yeah, and also when people like yourself and me, I'm not a mom. Surprise. Surprise, surprise. I hate that so much. But um yeah, people like us, it's really hard to turn our brains off. Like I had gotten over being sick, and I got used to ZQL. I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna go to sleep now. So yeah, I feel it. Yeah.
Yeah. So edibles and flour for the most part. Extracts definitely when I'm traveling
Hmm.
or when I need to be more discreet in my yokan. My child competes Ninja Warrior in parkour, so when I have to be
I
around those
that's a
parkour
lot of
moms,
Ninja Warrior parkour. Is that like, do they like run whole Ninja Warrior courses?
so she does Ninja Warrior and competes that and does the full courses and she competes that on a team. And then she also competes parkour, which is like the free running, the tricking, all of that outside.
Holy shit!
So I have to be
That's just
around
some
both parents.
whole that helicopter parents for sure, probably somewhere around there. But there's probably a good median. But
There
definitely
is.
weed is probably needed.
Yes. And I also have social anxiety, right? I seem like
Yeah.
I am super confident
Right.
and I love to interact with humans, but in actuality, I struggle peopling on a daily basis. So the
Mm,
cannabis helps that.
yeah.
And so
Great.
extracts for sure when I need to
Dope.
be more discreet and don't need to walk back into a gym reeking like weed.
Mm, yeah. I just don't care.
So I want to be like that, but
Try ketamine treatment.
I had a mother.
Oh, you're also a mom. You have other things that are going
She
on.
doesn't allow her child to play at my house because of my job. She'll allow my child to come there, and she's nice to me. Granted, she's likened my cannabis industry job to working in the adult entertainment industry, but she's still at least nice to me. But she doesn't allow her
I
kid to
want to
come to
see her
my
search
house.
history.
So like I feel like I do have to be discreet. I wish I could just be like, you know what?
Yeah, no, I live a completely different life. I don't have a child. There's a lot of
Keep that energy.
yeah. There's a lot of there's a lot of factors that go into me not giving a fuck. Yeah, because I don't. I mean, I have a cat. She'll. There's enough food there. She'll be all right. If I get arrested, I'll get a free meal. No, I don't want to get arrested. I'm just kidding. Anyway, but that's great, and I'm glad that you brought it up because obviously we have like a lot of cannabis people or dudes on here not talking about like being a mom or having kids and dealing with that. So I appreciate you sharing that with us as well. That's kind of the part that I want to hear about because again, this is all about I want to hear about your color red. I see my color red, but I don't know what yours is. So and it sure isn't the same thing. But if you want to smoke any of this is Alien Labs and connected stuff. This is like Guava 2.0 or
Can
something.
we smoke that joint?
Just smoke the joint. Okay.
Yes.
And we'll just use this as ashtray. By the way, this is it also this holds liquids and ashes. I don't have an ashtray on our site, but I do have
Oh, you sell those?
yeah.
Yes.
I have this, I have shirts, I have well, we can talk about it more, but I have candles. Candles.
Ooh, are they terpene candles?
Well, vanilla, cinnamon, cinnamon and terpene. I should learn more. Yeah, we'll go ahead and smoke this. This is a joint from Made. Shout out Made for smokers. Project Packs, Dankonomics, hazy canna selections, no mids chino, all of them. They just had a deal the other day, and they gave a bunch of pre-rolls away, and I bought a bunch, so I have some. We're smoking them.
I will tell you, I am super impressed with Project Pex and what they have kind of created. Yeah, like we were talking about sticky and having different terpene profiles and kind of creating that type of product,
Yeah.
and watching what they have created. I think it fits that bill.
Absolutely. They did something that I didn't think anybody could do. They brought back Blue Dream.
Oh my God.
And I bought it, and I'm like, all right, guys, this is your shot. Because if you don't know, you can learn this about me. My number one strain is DJ Short Blueberry. So if you have it, give it to me. Well, we can work something out. But DJ Short Blueberry is mine, and then so we got the Blue Dream, and I'm like, am I gonna get nothing but that haze, drawn out genetics that have been burnt out, cloned and cloned and cloned till it tastes like nothing but hay? Or am I gonna get blueberry and then a little bit of that earthy, hazy, sour? When I popped the jar, it was definitely blueberry forward, and I was happy. And it had the structure, it had everything that looked right. Not every bud structure looks the same. Not all these buds that come out that are like PGR'd or like super fat and everything, and like not every strain looks like that. So like the blueberry, the Blue Dream, I call it blueberry haze. The Blue Dream, you can see the haze in it, the way it grows. It's a little more airy. It's a little more spread out, a little more hairy, furry, stuff like that. It's not a real tight bud structure. There's some stuff there, but I like that. So yeah, I've seen a lot of their different strains that have actually shown a difference other than just this is weed. You know what I mean? Like there's so many brands out there that just put on a pretty packaging and then throwing crap.
You know, I thought the reason you were going to say make you love Blue Dream again was because from 2013 to 2016, there was so much Blue Dream
I didn't bring it out
grown in this state that I feel like everybody after 2016 was like, give me anything but Blue Dream.
Yeah.
Anything but.
I'll get like that with GMO right now.
Honestly, I'm that way with GMO and gelato. I'm so over all these gelato crosses. They're not enjoy. To each their own, right? There's people that do enjoy them. I am not one of them.
Yeah.
I'd really love some more diesels on the market. I feel like we're missing so much actual gas, not figuratively, but like the smell of gas.
Yeah. I used to get some stuff in Missouri back in the day that was like you put it in a Tupperware and then you popped it on the other side of the room, and the whole room like smelled like cat piss, like nasty, like sour.
That was one of my most hated strain names, by the way.
I also love cat piss.
Name.
I hate I don't really care about the strain, but
I just hate saying it to a customer. It's not enjoyable.
I don't know. Like I'm a weird dude. So definitely cat piss for me, and it's a super silver haze pheno. But it's a really euphoric sativa. But then again, we're getting into to talk about sativas and stuff, and sativa indica is really technically what we used to call where things are from, and so on and so forth. There's no real sativa
how the industry
indica
has changed in 11 years.
Yeah, I mean, we also used to do a lot of dumb shit that we don't do anymore. Just because it was done a certain way doesn't mean it's the truth.
Exactly.
Right. So we learn and change our opinions and stuff. But anyway, I'm glad that we. I'm really glad that you gave me the shot in the cannabis industry.
So am I.
It was really good for me. Even though I've made my way around. But yeah, let's go ahead and move into our next segment, which is Trip Tales. This strain that we're smoking is Breeze. It feels like a cool breeze on a hot day.
Shout out to Bert over at Project Packs.
Oh.
Love it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's.
Tastes great.
I also smoked the Gelato 41 earlier. It was, and look, yeah, I'm kind of tired of gelato, but it is still really good smoke. It was still really fucking good.
Look, if it's done really well, you can't be sick of anything.
I haven't found
right?
anything from Project Packs that isn't just really good. Now, I will say the blueprint on that, like, I'm not too big of a fan of a lot of those strains. Like, I liked them; they're really powerful and good. It's just not my flavor profile. They are top tier things, and they hit heavy, and they're great. But it's just not my thing. I'm kind of closer to some of the more of the flavors that they're putting out from Made.
I'll agree with that. I'm excited for the Doja.
Yeah,
That
I have
is going to hit.
I had the RS11 from Doja from Cali back in the day that I put on my original page. That was dope. Oh, sorry, we're in Trip Tales. We're smoking.
Sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. I say sorry too much. We all say sorry too much. I'm not sorry, but I love you guys. Anyway, so I don't know what this is. Trip Tales is all about psychedelic lessons or any experiences that you've had, or if you're interested in any information, because I've done a lot of psychedelics, still do psychedelics. Psychedelics on too. Sorry.
I don't use a lot of psychedelics. I utilize mushrooms a lot for my anxiety and depression. What I found cannabis used to be able to do for me in my early 20s and mid 20s is what I'm finding mushrooms can now do now in a smaller dose, right? Much more effective. I am going to be trying ketamine in early 2024, which I'm really excited about.
If you listen to any of my stuff, like, that's what turned my life around.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. To do a couple of those. Mushrooms, I microdose. I'm one of the weird people that nothing moves. So I've take 8 and 7 grams, and I don't see vibrant colors. Nothing moves. There's no tracers. You can always tell when I've done a large dose of mushrooms, though, because for the next 2 days, I'm up an hour before my alarm. My hair is done. My lashes are on. I'm in heels. I'm in a dress.
You're having a good time.
I'm a 100% functional human instead of a 75% functional human. So, actually, that's not fair. I'm at 150% after the mushrooms and probably 100 before.
Yeah.
But
those synapses get going.
But so I do microdose a couple of times a week. But I don't take them for recreation because then nothing happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything that I ever feel or do on like shrooms is really I think it's more internal in thought than visual or anything. The only time I've ever really seen anything on shrooms or even acid, I don't know, acid I've just seen shit melt away, but like it's almost like my my subconscious showing me things. Like, I don't even know how to explain it to you.
No, that kind of makes sense.
Like God talks to you. But anyway, I think I've talked to aliens. But shit, now I've walked myself into I don't know what I was talking about.
Your mushroom trips.
Oh, so I don't see anything. Like, the only time I really did is when I ate like an eighth of shrooms one time, and I took like 5 papers of acid, and then I
looked at the same time.
At the same damn time. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. I've done a lot of dumb shit in my life, so I can tell you, don't touch the stove. It's hot. Yeah, that was a weird one. At one point in time, I wanted to. Some guy was yelling at a girl. I was gonna go beat him up because I'm like, you don't talk to women like that. But luckily, my girl at the time was like, just sit down. You don't need to go protect everybody. But yeah, I looked at my phone and my icons were above my phone and going. I'm like, oh man, this is what they're talking about when they when they when they say you see shit on acid and shit. I'm like, this is it, and I'm talking to nobody.
To nobody.
Yeah. So that's the time I did it, and so I get it. I don't really know what makes your brain do that.
I think that's what they're still trying to figure out about psychedelics.
Yeah, they're trying. Do you know they're trying to map out the DMT world? So DMT is, if you don't know, is a very powerful thing within our bodies already. And if you take it, you can send you astral projecting. If you don't know what astral projecting is, I don't have time. Google it. We'll get over that another time. But it goes into it. You basically go into another dimension. Now, usually they say it's like only like a 15-minute high with DMT and stuff like that. But they have figured out a way to elongate that high.
Honestly, the shortness is the only thing that attracts. I'm kind of a snob. I don't like them short. Sorry, don't
You're
judge
good.
me.
You're good. All right.
But that's the only reason I DMT I was attracted to. I haven't tried it, but like to commit to something like acid for 5 hours.
Oh, my acid trips are like 8
Okay,
to 12.
way too long.
Don't talk to me about it.
I like to be functional.
I am functioning in a way. Listen.
So, and I mean, really, let's just say it. I'm kind of a control freak and a little bit needing to control my area all the time. I'm learning and teaching myself not to do that.
Boundaries.
But the shorter time for DMT is so much more attractive to a human like me.
You want this? All right.
That I didn't know they had figured out a way to make it longer. I'm like, please don't do that.
Well, no, I mean, you don't have to do that. What they're doing is, though, they're having people who want to do this.
That makes sense.
Stay in it, and they're trying to map out the world, the universe that is the DMT world, which, may be base reality. I don't know. If you don't know what base reality, man, you guys need to wake up. I can't teach everything in one show. I'm just kidding. I'm high, guys. We're just having a good time. So yeah. But I've seen, like I said in a lot of previous ones with shrooms and stuff, I get a lot of like therapeutic things out and work on things. Acid is just more like, I want to see colors and shit. Not that like they're any brighter, but I'm just like, this is cool. Like, I don't know.
They're not brighter?
Oh, I feel like my eyes are more open, and I think it's hard to explain. I'm
just sitting here trying to live vicariously through you because I've never done it, so I figured I'd ask.
I mean, your vision is a little bit more clear. You can hear better, like with shrooms, you can hear better and stuff like that. But is it bright or anything? I think I just can enjoy things more.
Okay.
Than before. It kind of like removes the ego perspective on looking at things, and the way that you, like, that's what I talk about. You're red, right? We grow up and we have our lives basically dictate to us what our reality is, right? In a way, there's no such thing as Ryan, right? It's only the interactions in life that have created Ryan.
Interesting. Okay.
Like,
I get that.
Like, I was born without this name and this personality. Like, I'm not this personality. I'm something else, right? I don't know. I think a lot of psychedelics and shit show you that. I don't know where I was going with that. Shit. I was painting myself into another corner with that. But where are we going from?
I don't know where you were going.
Yeah.
With that.
Anyway. But no, with this, like, okay, going back to the DMT. Let's skip that. Anyway, going back to the DMT, they're mapping that out and everything, and that could be like base reality. But there's different things that are showing us these lessons in life, and that's what I see a lot of, like, psychedelics, not just like entertainment, then the brighter lights and stuff, and me trying to really, like, oh yeah, so it washes the ego away, and you can kind of enjoy, like, our personalities. Like, when I'm high on acid, all the personality and the ego which is Ryan Miller, Crownson's Corner and all that shit just goes over here. And I can just experience things as they are. And I think what I'm trying to get at is how I see it as it's not really like anything brighter or better. It just all the societal hangups that I had are let go, and I can just like stuff. Like I can be a man who loves women and like a fucking rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Like I can like the color purple.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean like I
No,
want
it's
to
our society and our culture that's saying that that's not supposed
exactly.
to be synonymous, when in actuality, it doesn't fucking matter.
So I lose myself when I take acid, and I can just be and enjoy.
Okay.
So that's what it does for me. Yeah. There we go. See, I make my way back around, guys. It's a trip. It's called Trip Tales.
I mean, I wish there was a way for people to not have to necessarily do acid per se, but have that experience of removing the ego. If we all let our egos go just a little bit, like, holy shit.
So now I do that regularly without doing the acid. And
Really? So you've kind of taught yourself.
Yeah. I taught myself, oh, what are you doing? Just enjoy what the fuck you're doing right now, dude. Like, we're never going to be here again. What, like, you can sit here and think about all the bad things that are going on, and this is we'll go into mental health, but you can sit here and dwell on the past and the future, which don't really exist. Right now exists. And yeah, like even right now, like my water heater just went out at my apartment, and they told me that it's not an emergency, so they're not going to fix it till Monday. So I could have sat there and just like lost my shit on them and like screamed at them and all sorts of other stuff, and been like, I'm not going to have like a hot shower or something. Or I could now, instead of doing that with psychedelics, has shown me I can sit that angry guy in the back, sit down. I don't need you right now. I'm like, okay, so let's look at this problem objectively. And we have a gym. We have a bathroom in the gym. There's a shower in the gym. There's a hot shower. So, yeah. So
That is personal growth, P.S. I'm
right?
super proud of you for that.
Thank you.
Like the Ryan I hired multiple years ago would not have been able to separate that. Well, fucking done.
Thank you. Shout out to me again. Breakthroughs, boundaries, learning.
Personal
growing.
growth is important. It's hard as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, because you realize more and more like all that reactive shit makes things slower. So if like with the army, if you slow down when you're shooting, sorry, this is bad. When you slow down in breathing when you're shooting, because you're like, this is like a bad thing that I'm about to, like, you're shooting. It's not natural. But anyway, you're going through stress, right? Slow down, steady what you're doing, know your aim, know your goal, and then take your shot. You may miss, but do it calmly and assertively and with some knowledge and some foresight, and you can do it. And it won't be that big of a problem. Moving on. All right. So we'll go ahead and jump to our break, and then we'll jump into mental health as well.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Aisha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Health is wealth. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
like I should be like laying at the spa right now.
Yeah. I just always that when I made that, I was just like washing your brain, give your brain a little rinse. So mental health is wealth is all about, our struggles daily with being alive. And how have you handled, you can, with cannabis, being a mom in the cannabis industry, which is rough because I even know people that try to get reported for when they're just doing work. It's just, I don't even understand it. Some Karens in life. I've been a Karen in somebody's life before too. So before so I'm not, I'm
At
guilty
least
too.
you can acknowledge that.
I've been probably a Karen a lot of people.
You know, we were just talking a second ago about how like personal growth is super hard.
Yeah.
But it's so important. Like I think it adds to the mental health, right? Even when you don't have struggles within mental health, if you're not being honest with yourself of who you are and where you can improve, because none of us are perfect. Like even at 75 doing 50 years of personal growth, you're never going to be perfect, right?
That's why healing chefs is healing, not
All the time.
Forever healing, never healed.
And so I try to hold myself accountable on a daily basis. I tend to look introspectively before looking outward because I think that that's, we can only fix ourselves. We can only control ourselves, right? Sometimes to a detriment, but I really try to keep my mental health in check that way. Sometimes, again, detrimental, right, to my mental health if I'm always looking inward, because then I always try to think like this is my own fault. I shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z or whatever.
Makes your world really small.
It does. As well as I hold myself to a super high standard. So if I'm not meeting those expectations or I'm not super productive or I haven't, hit a milestone, I feel not unworthy, but like I need to be doing more or bringing more to the table or creating more, making whatever.
Right.
So, and that adds to my mental health. So like finding healthy ways to balance that between using cannabis, going to the gym. When doing a receivership that was especially tough in LA in 2022, I found a love for working out again. I loved it when I worked in the fitness industry, but I got really burnt out in the fitness industry. So I go to the gym a lot. I lift weights, lifting heavy, really working that level of, can you meet this new goal? What is tough for you? What actually challenges you and makes you get out of your brain? Hot yoga, really fucking great for mental health because you can't sit and think, right? Normal yoga, it's so quiet and so slow. I'm just in my head thinking about what I should have done differently, should have done better.
Yeah.
Whatever. Hot yoga, you think about anything but your breath, you're passing the fuck out. So that helps my mental health.
I'm tired thinking about it.
I just try numerous ways to come at mental health to be healthy on that level. I also really try to teach my kid that, right? To not be too hard on herself, to celebrate her wins.
I tell everybody, everybody, I'm like, I tell everybody, no, I tell a lot of people, be nicer to yourself, like in conversations.
You said that
stuff.
to me, I think, last week.
Yeah, absolutely. I said it to the Uber driver that drove me here. He's like, I'm doing this. And I'm like, yo, it's okay. Like,
we're not taught that though, right? And I think our
that's
culture adds to that mental health not being good because of that. We're not taught to be nicer to ourselves. We're taught to be nice to everyone else.
Yeah.
But not to ourselves.
Right. Because we always, like, I think even Mac Miller said something. He's like, yeah, I always used to think being like I forgot what he said exactly, like moody or like self-destructive and stuff would make me edgy and people want to be around me. And it's not true.
No.
It's not.
People want to be around authentic other humans, whether you're quirky, whether you're cool, whether you're loud, whether you're soft. Just be who you are. And not everyone's going to love you, but that's going to be regardless of what you are, right?
Yeah.
Like,
hi, not everybody loves me.
At least 40% of humans you're not going to gel with, and that's okay.
That's why there's other channels on the TV.
Exactly. You just, as long as we're all respectful of each other, you'll find your tribe and find the people you're supposed to interact with, both personally and professionally. Because, here's the thing. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm definitely more of a shot of whiskey or a shot of tequila than I am a cup of tea. So, like, there's some people who just don't
Classy.
mesh with me, and that's okay.
Oh.
So,
Yeah. I feel like that. I feel like that. Ryan talking take two. I feel that for sure because there's a lot of people that over my time in the cannabis industry, I've kind of pissed off because I don't know. I also used to be reactive, Ryan. So, and I always thought I was like trying to save myself from something, but I was always causing problems. But that's a whole thing that I learned. But yeah, people hold grudges and stuff like that. But like I said, that's why there's multiple channels. If we were all supposed to like and do the same damn thing, we'd all just be doing one thing.
and it would be so boring.
And I don't want to do the same thing. That's the whole part of what this whole podcast is about, is finding out about other people's everything. I can't read that. Okay.
So, I like another thing I view with mental health as a mom or a parent, even not just a mom, just a parent, is like it's our job to teach our children how to address those things, right? Like
Yeah.
our generation wasn't taught that by our parents, that we were going to have really big emotions and like talking about it and putting it out on the table and being honest, instead of being like, no, you bury it. You can't show emotions. You can't do that. So it's really big for me to teach my kid how to
Don't embarrass the family.
Exactly. And it's like, but it's not an embarrassment if something real is happening. Why don't you talk about healthy avenues to deal with it instead of just burying it?
Yeah.
So I very much try to do that with my kid. Like, here's the
Dope.
different ways you can communicate. Here's what you can and can't control. And here's where you should focus your energy if you feel out of control.
Man, shout out to you, because like that's the shit that we need for real. Because like, I mean, I love my mom, and she did, kind of what she was taught. So can't blame her for that. We're all learning more and more nowadays. So I mean, that would have been like key. Like, I mean, especially with growing up, and I see a lot of these. We'll jump into the last segment here soon, but like, I see a lot of these kids. I say kids because I'm almost 40.
I don't feel like we're old, but we're old.
No, yeah. All the shit is cool now that I like, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's dope. And I'm like, wait, shit, that means we're on the
old.
oldies station. Lincoln Park's now on the oldies station. Well, rest in peace. Shit, damn it, I did it again.
You were talking about the next segment.
Yeah, that's is all about plugging and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. Something about mental health. Sorry, guys. I smoked before I came here. We smoked with Treed, and then I smoked on here. I'm high. You guys smoke weed. But no, I think we talked about some good stuff, and especially with the mental health.
I have one
it's
thing
hard
to
out
add to
here.
the mental health
Go
really
ahead.
quick, because
Yeah.
it's a conversation I've been having a lot in my circle. Relationship with food and how that affects your mental health, and how, because sugar does affect how we think about ourselves, how we function, the chemical
Sugar's
makeup,
a drug.
and just how we have been taught a lot to settle our emotions with food, and it's often not healthy food. And then it's just a cycle because it puts you back into a different mental state. So like learning how to have a better relationship with food often translates into better mental health. Not 100%. Like, I'm not saying that's a fix all. Oh my God, ever. Just saying like it is another step that I take to try to be more aware of my mental health.
Yeah, we were talking about, the different food that you put in. You got to watch that, especially because everything's laden with sugar. Sugar is every drug wishes it was sugar, because sugar is in fucking everything. You'd be surprised, and I'm a chef, and I know so much. You think just like that soy sauce at that poke place is really good?
No, it's full of sugar.
It's full of fucking sugar. Everything. But yeah, food, workout, therapy,
Cannabis.
Cannabis.
Being kind to yourself, as Ryan says.
Be kind to yourself. Drink water. And yeah. Anyway, we're moving on to plug talk. You guys, you guys know that I get high, so, and you get high, so didn't hear that. They didn't hear that. All right. So, I just roasted my funny bone.
I heard it. Like it reverberated like all the way over
Yeah,
here.
I'm good. So other than my numbing pain that I'm going through right now, what do you got going on? Go ahead and plug. Plug Talk is all about promo.
I've owned my own consulting company since 2015, but I just recently like built the website for it and am
Dope.
putting some effort into collaborating with two professionals in the industry, Stacy Scholl and Dina Miller.
Shout out.
So we are launching that at MJ Biz. I made branded gouaches, which is like the facial thing for tension and stress within your face, to give away at Blunt Brunch, which is really exciting. So
I don't know about those, but maybe I need them.
I think you would like it secretly. But really,
I don't have to be secret. Like I can be a guy and like want to look better.
that is so true. I shouldn't even have stereotyped that, so I apologize.
No, I do it. I do it in front of people, and I'll kiss a girl while I'm doing it. If they need that.
Really, that's the only plug I have. Otherwise, like
What's the website?
Seshstrategies.com, and Sesh is SECHE strategies.com. And yeah, still doing my thing, consulting, compliance operations, looking at some projects in California, hopefully doing some
Sick.
receiverships, and that's it.
Nice. Well, if there's any products that are going to be hitting the shelves or anybody coming out here, you should let the Healing Chefs know first.
I will.
Just saying. Just asking. But yeah, awesome. And what's the website again?
Seshstrategies.com, and I'm on Instagram as the Dispensary Whisperer.
Awesome. Well, let me go ahead and jump into ours. So next weekend, well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We'll go ahead and say it again probably next weekend because that's a plant. Other than like, it's not like a government plant. You know what I mean? You guys know. All right, so we're talking about so Conscious Calm Chaos on Instagram. She will be here, and I don't know how to say Brit's name, but Brit Jeff.
Do you want me to say it for you?
Yep.
I don't know. Is it
Yep.
Jaff or Jaff?
Yep. So
I'm so sorry if I just butchered your name.
You're good. I forgot. She's a Brit. If you're, go ahead and make like comments on stuff and like let people know who you are. I forgot what your Instagram is, but we'll obviously be going to. I'm booked out till May.
Good fucking problem to have.
I know, but I'm sorry, but Britt, yeah. So I will definitely do all the promo and stuff for that this week. We got that going on. I am making cookies and stuff. We're doing a collaboration with Dab and Ricky. You guys seen some of them? I'm about to go home and make some more. And I'm making so many of them. I hope people that get them enjoy them and everything. It's a big pain in the ass. But I love it because what I'm doing is making cookies that my grandma and I used to make and stuff like that. So a little bit of my past. And I'm also going to throw in some of my flavored cookies in there. I make white chocolate and blueberry cookies, and they taste like Fruity Pebbles, like cereal and stuff. So,
yes.
So yeah. And that's mine, and they all have rosin. It's all rosin. All right, so that's some of the stuff we have going on. Shout out Sin City Seeds again for helping us out. Go check out the merch; it's in the highlights. You get mugs, t-shirts, hoodies. I need to take the Halloween stuff down, but yeah. And if you get a hoodie, make sure you go like 2 sizes above if you're a dude because it's unisex, but I'm pretty sure it's going like female sizes. But yeah, other than that, pause consumption, Alien Labs made, Blueprint, Treed. All right. Love you guys. Tap in, smoke up, trip out. We're out.